Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm doing an unboxing and first look on the newly released Nike Machomai 3 boxing shoes. So stay tuned. Hey, what's up everybody? Carlo here. Today I'm excited to bring you guys an unboxing and first look on the newly released Nike Machomai 3 boxing shoes. I want to give a big shout out to Jonathan over at Box Up Nation, which is where I purchased these shoes from. And I actually had them on pre-order. These shoes retail for $99 on boxupnation.com. You can get them in 5 different colorways. I believe you can get it, which is what I got, in white and metallic gold. They also have white and black. Blue and white, red and black, and as well as a black and white. So they have 5 total colorways. Sizing wise, you can get it anywhere, I think as small as size 5 all the way to size 14 in men's, and they do offer half sizes. I opted to get mine in size 11. Typically I'll go half size up in boxing shoes in general, but specifically for Nikes, because Nikes tend to run kind of narrow with their boxing shoes, I usually go half size up. I'm usually 10 and a half, but I get these in size 11. So extremely excited to see how these shoes look. Let's go ahead and cut this box open and take a look and see how they look. Now, these are the successors to the Machomai 2s. The 2s are really not a redesign of the original number 1s. They look identical. And to be honest with you, the only thing I think they changed with the 2s compared to the 1s was just the colorways, which was kind of weird. So the fact that you call it the 2s, but you really didn't do anything from a design standpoint to change the shoes, which was a bit odd to me for Nike. But these 3s look to be completely redesigned. So first things first, standard orange Nike box, Nike Machomai 3, white metallic gold. I got these again size 11, so you have the label right there. Nothing out of the ordinary, nothing too crazy with that. Go ahead and open this box, trying to slide and get away. You have your standard paper right there, and there you have it. So that looks to be the left shoe. So get that shoe out first. So here is the left shoe. So back of the heel cup, inner portion of the shoe, drop those down, and then let's grab the right shoe. All right, so there you have it, guys. These are the Machomai 3s, and just a beautiful looking shoe. You can see it kind of retains somewhat of the same shape as the original Machomais in terms of kind of going with that lightweight feel and look. So aesthetically, the 2 things that stand out the most to me is going to be the swoosh sign on this is much larger than the original Machomai. As you can see that it basically starts kind of towards where the first lace is at, and then all the way to the top, to the back up to where your ankle is basically, or the top portion of your heel. So you have a much longer swoosh on both the inside and the outside. The other thing that I noticed compared to the original is the upper material definitely feels more rigid. There's more structure, especially when it comes up higher right here on the ankle support. Now, to me, this shoe, just like the original Machomais, is a mid-top. It's not a high-top boxing shoe, nor is it a low-top. So you do have what I feel to be a little bit more of a rigid upper around the ankle support. Now, I'm going to kind of go off of the verbiage that Nike uses for this shoe, more or less so I don't screw it up, so that you guys can hear it yourself. So the Nike Machomai 3 boxing shoe features an updated mesh pack while remaining lightweight and breathable. So I'm assuming when they say the mesh pack, basically means this upper that they use, this synthetic mesh upper. The Nike Machomai 3 boxing shoe is designed to maximize the quickness, agility, and boxing styles of today's best fighters. Okay, that's fine. I think that's the goal of every boxing shoe, right? Redesigned and upgraded for durability, the nimble, flexible rubber outsole, which is going to be right here, It provides maximum control and traction in all ring conditions. We'll go over that here in a second. We'll look at the outsole. A lightweight, breathable upper materials minimize moisture absorption and help keep your feet dry. Upgraded eyelets. So the eyelets are going to be basically the holes where the laces go through. Upgrade eyelets to remove face pressure, improve ease of entry. So I'm assuming just the laces going in and out of the eyelets, and deliver a more professional aesthetic. So the way they look. Upgraded mesh for added durability, breathability, and comfort. Weight is 256 grams. Let me equate what that is. 256 grams. I know most of us use ounces. 2 ounces is going to be 9.03 ounces. So let's just round down. So they're now 9 ounces for each shoe when it comes to weight. And once I use these, I'll do a review, obviously, but I'll put them on the scale too. So you notice that it does have that synthetic mesh upper. Again, compared to the originals, structurally it feels that the top of the shoe feels, again, more rigid. It does have obviously flexibility to it. It's not going to be like it's just super extremely hard over the top portion of your foot and make it uncomfortable. Once I put these on and try it on and start using them, then obviously I'll know a lot more about the shoes and how they feel. So you do have these long laces. You do have the gold tips at the end, and that's going to be the colorway for this particular model with the metallic gold. You also have this nylon strap that comes down on top of the toe box, and you also have some micro suede that goes around the front portion of the toe box and kind of wraps around and comes underneath the swoosh sign, and it basically is kind of like the background material underneath the swoosh, and it comes up all the way back up to where the tip of the swoosh is. And it's the same thing on the outside portion edge of that. You have that suede that kind of wraps around, kind of comes up. It does have a really good heel cup that feels nice and solid on the back of the heel, and again you have more of that synthetic material on the heel cup right here that gives it contrast with that gold stitching that is stitched into the heel cup. On the back, you also have the heel tab that says Nike Boxing on the back of the heel tab, or that heel pull. I do like the fact that you do have this tab so you can grab the back of the heel when you're sliding your foot into it, which makes it so much more convenient, especially when you're putting your shoes on and you're standing up and you don't have the luxury of being able to sit down on something. You can grab the back of the heel and pull up on it, which makes it so much easier to slide your foot into the shoe. Here are the eyelets. So the eyelets themselves are just stitched in. There's no actual like plastic or any type of hardened material that is inside the eyelet hole. So the eyelets will slide through that. You do have 3 at the very top of the ankle support. And then at the bottom portion, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you have 6 on each side that go down to the toe box area. So you do have that. You also do have the lace holder right here on the middle of the tongue to hold the laces up with the tongue. And it does say Machomai 3 on the tongue itself. So it says Machomai 3. The tongue material, again, is more of that same synthetic mesh. And the tongue is definitely more on the softer side. So it's not a very rigid feeling type of material. The inside of the tongue does have made in China, Nike Machomai 3, upper is blank, last, it says size 11, number, season, and ship to. I don't know what that all means, but you do have that. The inside does say Nike Boxing on the insole. And let's see if the insole is removable. So the insole, yes, technically you can remove it, but it is glued to the bottom of the inside of the shoe. So I'm not going to remove that yet just because I don't want to destroy my brand new shoes. But the insole is glued to the bottom of the inside of the shoe. You can remove it, but you'll rip the glue off. So if you were looking at putting your own custom insoles on here, you can do so. You just know that you have to rip out that cheap insole that's included. The laces on here are pretty long. Once I lace it up to the top, let's see how they go through. So the eyelet holes actually feel really smooth. So when I push it through on each side, it actually feels really good. So that's one thing I think a lot of people have issues with when it comes to boxing shoes, is sometimes the lace systems can be a little bit of a pain in the ass because you're starting with so many lace holes, right? Starting from the bottom, and then you kind of have to go through each one to get that nice, tight, snug fit, which can be, you know, obviously a little time consuming when you're using these every day for your training. I know it's kind of a inconvenience for some, especially if you're using a mid or a high top boxing shoe. So it's nice to have just the little conveniences in terms of having the eyelet holes be smoother to run your laces through it, so you don't feel like it's a pain in the butt to have to grab each one and pull it through. So you do have that, and you can see the laces are pretty long. I would imagine once I start using these, I might be able to get one revolution around the ankle if I really want to get that access and tighten it down. So you can see that the laces go all the way to the top. The outsole on here looks almost identical to the original. It's a very similar style outsole that you see with a herringbone pattern on both the ball and the midsection, as well as the heel of the foot. So you can see that rubberized outsole comes all the way through with a herringbone pattern. You do have the Nike swoosh sign right there. And you also do have what feels to be a decent sized right on the inside. So if you're flat footed right there, you do have a decent sized arch on the inner portion of the shoe. So I'm kind of interested on how that feels, just because I'm a little bit more flat-footed myself. So I'm wondering if that's going to be comfortable or if that's going to cause me any type of discomfort. And you have that on both shoes. The other thing about Nikes is the area that I personally have issues with is going to be this portion right here, this outer edge. And usually it's this outer portion where my foot feels the most discomfort because the shoe typically runs kind of narrow, and I feel like my foot ends up getting like a callus right here, because from boxing, obviously you're shifting a lot. Your footwork is the most important thing in terms of being able to, you know, use your lateral movement and have quick footwork. And oftentimes, you know, boxers' feet they get really banged up over time from all the road work we're doing, all of the training. But typically for myself, that's usually where I get the most discomfort, is right here on this outside edge. So I'm kind of interested to see how these feel, if these are improved over the original Machomais. The original Machomai, I just really couldn't wear them. The Hyper KOs were kind of in that same category where I felt discomfort in that spot. So I'm hoping that they, you know, widen that up just a little bit to give the guys that have wide feet a little bit more breathing room. The design, the way it looks and just the feel kind of reminds me of the box hogs from Adidas in terms of this portion of the shoe. It kind of mimics that, which gives me a bit of hope, because I feel like the box hogs were definitely a little bit more roomier. So it kind of reminds me of that shape of the shoe. But overall, a beautiful looking shoe. I think that Nike aesthetically did a really good job with coming out with a successor to the original Machomais. Obviously, those shoes had been around for a very, very long time, and I think people were waiting for finally get a new refresh to those shoes. And I think they did a pretty good job. I think the upper looks really good. I feel like they kind of stuck to the original formula, but didn't overdo it too much by making it look kind of crazy. I know the newer Hyper KO, the Hyper KO 2s, when those came out, people were just like, you either hated them or you loved them. And because it had such a kind of advanced alien look to it compared to the original Hyper KOs, that people were just kind of thrown off by the way it looked, because the upper had this crazy web looking design, and it looked kind of like out of this world when they first came out. So it was either a hate or a love it type relationship with those shoes. Where these, I feel like they did a little bit more of a subtle upgrade in terms of the looks of it. And I'm just hoping that from a performance standpoint and comfort standpoint for me specifically, that these are improved over the original Machomais. But overall, you can see it for yourself, a really clean looking shoe. I got mine in the white and gold. I think all the colorways that they offer look amazing. If my second choice would have been the blue and white. I think the blue and whites look really sharp too, but I ended up going with white. I don't know why, it's just that clean look I love when it comes to white shoes in general. But overall, beautiful looking shoe. Looking forward to using these and eventually doing a review. So if you guys have any questions or comments, you guys know what to do. Put them down below in the comments box. I'll put the link in the description box on where you can buy these Machomai 3s. And I will see you guys later. Peace.